Welcome to Trump Tower. On CNN Monday, former Governor John Kasich, RO, a longtime Donald Trump skeptic, expressed his belief that Republicans are finally coming to an end in their support for the former president. Before we continue, please support us by clicking on the subscription button and turn on the notification bell for more reliable updates. Public opposition to Trump by elected officials remains inadequate, Kasich argued, but the Republican electorate is poised to move on. You just heard Jessica Dean uncover the response that was leaked from members of your own party, host Wolf Blitzer said. Are you satisfied with the level of condemnation by Republicans after Trump's call to actually abolish the U.S. Constitution? Of course not, Wolf, said Kasich, which I thought was off limits, and somehow people liked him. Remember, John McCain wasn't a hero because he got caught. I heard him say things like that and thought people would just leave, and they didn't. However, now, Kasich said, the circus is leaving town, and the voters are finally fed up with it. Probably some more people who go to the circus or want to go to the circus, but it's really ridiculous, Kasich said. Here, and then of course the dinner with the racist anti-Semite, there comes one thing after the other. So, like I said, I think the circus is going out of town and people are fed up. In her column for The Washington Post, political commentator Jennifer Rubin lectured Republicans that they were solely to blame for having to deal with Donald Trump's call to abolish the Constitution because he failed to do so on Saturday. To win re-election in 2020, the former president took to his Truth Social account to once again rant about his election loss, later writing, "So, with the exposure of massive and widespread fraud and deception, by working closely with big tech companies, the DNC and the Democratic Party throw away the results of the 2020 presidential election and declare the just winner or hold a new election. A massive fraud of this type and magnitude allows for the repeal of all rules, regulations and articles, including those contained in the Constitution." This, in turn, pressured Republicans who appeared on Sunday's cable programs to defend the former president and justify their continued support for his third presidential nomination. As Rubin said, Republican lawmakers should have seen something like this coming since Trump's first presidential run. In a healthy democracy with two sane, stable, pro-democracy parties, it would never have happened. In a world like this, Republicans would never have nominated and voted for an overtly racist pro-baby character in 2016. Republicans would never have voted twice in impeachment hearings and would never have been acquitted. 2021. He was disowned as he hurled anti-Semitic slurs and continued to lie about 2020. He would have been disowned when he renounced allegiance to the Constitution, he lectured, before writing, "It would hardly come as a surprise if a parade of callous Republicans appearing on the Sunday shows refused to declare him ineligible to become president." He wrote, "Republicans lack the courage, decency and loyalty to the Constitution to denounce Trump by name and declare him unfit to seek the office of president of the one presidency," he continued. Republicans continue to cower in fear of their radicalized base, which they helped anger by defending the big lie that the 2020 race was stolen. They fret that Trump might run as an independent or instruct his base to stay home if they turn on him. Spoiler. He'll do that anyway unless they hand him the nomination. According to the columnist, Republicans should now be put on the spot by the press whether the topic of Trump comes up or not. Writing that, it should not be too much to ask that serious media outlets label the GOP accurately as a threat to constitutional government and to democracy, she added. No member of the media should allow Republican candidates, office holders or operatives to escape an interview without declaring whether they would support for president, a self-described opponent of the Constitution. Neither the press nor the American people can afford to ignore a MAGA GOP that embraces a racist, an anti-Semite and an enemy of democracy. Trump's rants are more than just talk, they're an invitation to repeat the horrors of January 6, she concluded. They fear that if they turn against him, Trump could run as an independent or order his base to stay home. Spoilers. He'll do it anyway, unless he passed the nomination. According to the columnist, Republicans should now be squared off by the press on whether or not the Trump question comes up. Writing that, it shouldn't be asking too much that the reputable media correctly characterize the Republican Party as a threat to constitutional government and democracy. He added, No member of the media should represent Republican candidates. Officials are allowing activists to walk out of an interview without explaining whether they would support a self-proclaimed anti-constitutional president. Neither the press nor the American people can afford to ignore a MAGA GOP that embraces a racist, an anti-Semite and an enemy of democracy. Trump's tirades are more than words, they are an invitation to repeat the horrors of January 6, he concluded.